All right, guys, we're here. Block Party. I'm Mike Wahle. Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying, hit the subscribe button, rate and review. Join us on the Process to Perform channel. Join us on the Pack a Day podcast channel. Listen, 16-13, we lose to the Panthers. More importantly, we lose Tucker Kraft. He's the linchpin to this offense right now. It was Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs cannot block and run at the same time. Tucker Kraft has been getting it done for us in the yards after contact. You see what a difference it makes when he's in and out of the game. This was just an ugly game. Listen, the Panthers rushed for 165 yards. They slogged this game up. They got the turnovers they needed from the Packers. We just played an incomplete football game. There's a lot of questions surrounding, I'm an offensive lineman. There's a lot of questions surrounding this run game, our ability to put what has been our best player on offense, Josh Jacobs, put him in a position to be successful. He certainly looks like the same guy, but we're not getting him the same results. Too many mistakes, too much complacency. I thought the Panthers came in and played extremely hard. We're going to see it on tape. Look, there's a lot of stuff to talk about with the defense here, but honestly, I'll give you a quick and dirty. The Panthers are missing 3 offensive starters on the offensive line. They still rushed for a ton of yards. They rushed for almost 5 yards a carry, so they won that down. We didn't have an answer for Bryce Young running the football when he dropped back, certainly early in the football game. But we only gave up 16 points. You got to win those games. I had a coach tell me once, if we score 19, we're going to win every single game. My team's ever going to give up more than 18, right? We got to have that mentality. I certainly think that Hafley does. And it's unfortunate when you lose a football game and they only score 16 points. I spent the entire time on the offensive tape because of that. I just think there's just so much to look at. And I wish I could go through literally every single play-by-play, but I think my family would kill me. So check this out. We'll get back to you at the end. All right, let's get through this and see what we can learn. So we go motion to trips, first play, and it just from the jump, it kind of looks like we can get a good feel for what the Panthers are going to do. They're playing super off, deep. Now, this is the kind of stuff we're talking about. It's like you start asking about, Matt LaFleur and his play calling, and hey, how does, what's going on? Okay. How do you like this? Like, does this look good? Safety's way back here. He's got to take 2 guys. It looks like a pretty good play to me. Right? But got flushed. And because of that, you end up throwing all the way back across the field. Josh Jacobs. Now, Josh Jacobs just is giving you a preview like, guys, all pro. Hasn't missed he's not lost a step here or anything. Suggestion of that is absurd. He's just not getting the blocking in front of him that he needs. This guy is special. So we go 2nd and 5 here. So first down pass, 2nd and 5. We're in this formation where we traditionally are going to run the ball. And they run this little lead play. Pull Jordan Morgan. They get a good double here. Hold our backside block. Everybody's going the right direction. We're going to get a little kick out here by Jordan Morgan. Love to keep working on his physicality here. Got to block down, lead through. We got something going. First down coming up. So we get to a 3rd down and 6. We go empty, 3-by-2. You can see they're playing single safety, at least at the snap. They're playing 6 across. Now they mug up on Dobbs, so he can't do that quick out. And again, this is good football, guys. We're trying to rob in the middle with this linebacker. Just reading eyes. We got man here. We're doing a good job across the board. Single safety deep. Finds a guy, hits a guy. I mean, this is great football. Good start to a drive. 1st and 10 play. Got our 2 tight ends in the game. Under center. Nasty splits. Motion across to a twins look. Got 8 in the box. So, this to me is this is the problem. This is wild. you got an 8-man box. You block, and it's a one-on-one play. You're basically saying, like, if you just go and throw your body into this guy, we got a one-on-one, we'll take our chances to get 5 yards. If he breaks the tackle, maybe get a touchdown. He just gets absolutely, I mean, I know the guy ends up on his back, but, the bottom line is he gets smashed into Savion Williams. He ends up fumbling the football, and that's that. And it's like, that's players making plays. Okay, we go back to the split backs. So they got the play action look. They got to throw the check down. But it's not like, he's going, we're going to break out deep here. We got a crosser. Like, they have guys to test these players. Okay, the bottom line is a smart quarterback with this guy getting beat over here for not paying attention, guy about to get in his face, you throw the check down. He's making the right call. It just ends up, these guys are swarming like nuts. 11 on their team worked his ass off to retrace the entire game. So we go deep, really into triple coverage. Let's call it double coverage. It's being generous to say triple. But we run the post, and you can just see like the way they're playing defense. Like, right here, stop the ball. Snapshot this. And I know he's throwing the football right now, but just snapshot it. Guy over here you can't see. I mean, here's what's open. Nobody likes it. Check down. But he lets it rip. Hey, this is who he is. The kid's got an arm. But he's throwing a double coverage. And maybe the guy makes the play. And he's got a phenomenal arm, the whole thing. But very next play, they go, keep the tight end in. I think they chip out both sides here. Yeah, they end up chipping out both sides. And I'm not sure what the safeties are doing on the backside here. This fella just, I don't know if he's supposed to trap. They think these guys, when I say trap, sometimes they think one of these guys is going to run like a dig or a follow, like 2 follows instead of just running here. But we got manned up. They got a backside safety. Fastest guy in the field is just going to run away from it. Phenomenal throw. Great play call. Puts it in the only place it can be. Fast forward to a 2nd down and 6. This is where it gets interesting, right? We got a fumbled snap here. Okay, fumbled snap. So we get the false start. Then the right guard gets beat for a quick sack. I mean, there's no time to think about it. You want quick answers? You got a quick answer in the flat right here. Really no time to think about this. Remember, compressed field, red zone, it's tough. At this point, Aaron Banks is out. They've had to put Sean Ryan in. But you just see, and this is the problem right now with the technique with Jordan Morgan. That right there. You got to get these babies inside. Look at the tight hands. Trying to get tight hands, tight profile. He's got this outside hand, inside hand in. Both his hands are outside. Takes it right in the chest. Easy sack. That's what happens. Been there, done that. So they end up kicking the field goal. Now we got a bunch look. Motion across. And they got a good little run, man. This is a 6-yard run. This is a good football play. Look at it from this angle and see the double. They don't really get any movement. You're just like, what makes a successful play? Well, you got to move this guy, you got to move this guy. And we saw this guy getting moved like in a big way last week. But you got a great runner. You get a good, Sean Ryan takes on this block. This guy's just, his whole mission in life is to take your knees out. Ends up hurting us later. But we find the crease. 56 guesses wrong. Runs through one arm tackle, gets a 6-yard gain. It's a good play. Come right back. Go to a 2x2 with it attached. And this is the problem. This is not a bad play call, but this is one of the most egregious holds I've ever seen. And this is coming from a lineman who, we hold every play, but usually you let go. I mean, let go. Let go. Right here. It's over. Just let it go. Why pull him again? It's tough, man. So you finally get back to a 3rd and 2 look. And now we get a hold on Jenkins. And this isn't even Jenkins' fault. This is just how it goes. But, you're making these plays and you're thinking about, why are we calling this play? Why are we calling that play? What makes sense here? We just saw in film this guy last week when they gave up 240 yards on the ground, 7 yards a carry. That guy got absolutely just murdered all game by the Bills. So we end up running a short trap here, and Derek Brown does just a phenomenal job here of kind of closing the door with Elton Jenkins. Because, you're not really stepping to him. It's almost like you're acting like this is a hinge. What I mean by that is, if this play was going all the way out in the C gap, then you can hinge here. It doesn't matter. But in this situation, we're going here, and we're just trapping this play. So the lane is literally right through there. So the more that you back up, especially from this angle, boy, that's a lot of stuff. But especially from this angle, like if he sees that you're getting compressed, this guy's just going to try to bounce it back outside. You got to step 2, can't lose any ground. Well, he gets extended. He gets his arms out. They call the hold. Now we got, all of a sudden, these plays just get worse. Now, maybe that's not a play that we like in this instance. For me personally, seeing how much that guy got reached last game, probably want to keep the reach going or keep the double going. Again, not a play call issue. We just hit the deck up top. Now, this guy's been one of our, probably our best route runner, but it happens. Lambeau Field's a little bit tricky. They hit the deck. Now, we're behind the sticks to start with. This is a 3rd and 18 or something like that, right? So all these guys are going to be set up. They're set up at the sticks all across the board, right? So, you got that issue coming in, but at the same time, name me a good 3rd and 18 play. You're not apologizing for anybody, but it's just the reality of it. Like, you got to execute. So this is 2nd down and 20. You got bunch, out of gun. When people say they want to play horizontal ball, well, yeah, this is kind of what they're talking about. Like, you want to put yourself in a position where they have to fight for every inch of grass going out to the sidelines. Now, look, this is one of the better throws you're going to see all day. They got this great clear out here, so we can come in here. We got the across, bringing out this guy, and he's got to throw it over this player. It's a tough-ass throw in a National Football League game. You got pressure coming. You just rip that thing. That is a phenomenal play. Phenomenal play for a 1st down. Great. We got momentum. Everything looks good. 1st and 10. We get down here. We go empty. And this play's wide ass open. We're looking down here at Romeo Doubs. We take the safety here. This guy's out of the play. He's going to drop, and we're just going to bang out here. Call it like a bang 8. That is a touchdown. Unfortunately, quarterback's on the run. Misses the window. So now we got to get rid of the ball. Second down. No harm, no foul, but those are opportunities, man. All right, so we go back. Got a 1st and 10. Got another bunch look down on the bottom. Motion across again. Got a nice lead. Again, 1st and 10 play, get 6-7 yards. It's a great football play. It's exactly what you want. So we get 2nd and 4. 2x2. We got this tight formation. Now we go under center run. And these are the plays that got to work. You've got really, 2 overhang players with a 5-man box. It just felt like this game a couple times, and like you never question the running back, right? But you see what the running back sees a little bit here. Kind of sees this, so he feels like, all right, well then I got to bounce this outside. Now I can't show you. I think it's just Christian Watson over here that needs to come in and hit this guy, but he doesn't. So he's in the hole to make the play. And this is the play that'll pretty much live in our nightmares for the next 6 months. So we saw 11 before, kind of submarining on Sean Ryan. Now he ends up clipping Tucker Kraft. So he busts his knee up. Actually, it's a pretty good run. Man, that sucks for him. No need to show it. We got a 1st down and 10 play. We're doing a lot of condensed stuff, and I think a lot of that's because they're just playing this zone out. Again, Jordan Love said this after the game. Matt LaFleur's spoken about it. We can sit here and talk about everything we want, but the reality is they're playing shell coverage, and you've got a light box. And you got problems. If you can't run against this box in the National Football League, you got problems. And, this team has problems. Now, I'll show this from the end zone. This play don't make a lot of sense. But you don't have Tucker Kraft in there, and you just watch 86 as he comes across. So 86 is going to come across here. And you got to bluff the defensive end and then go around. And he just runs this arc. There's no bluff there. It's just little things. Like, where in this does he think, oh, I'm gonna get hit? Or Sean Ryan position blocking here and getting, you position block. It's okay to position block on these outside plays, but you position block step here, 2 upfield and keep him on the line of scrimmage. Don't let him come down, so that this guy maybe has to bubble, and then you can't sell this as much. So this guy runs down and makes the damn play. It's just these little things. It's like details of the game where that's just not quite good enough. All right, so now we got 2nd and 11. They got the split backs in the backfield again. Okay. You saw it, linebackers showing. And look, don't know the protections, but it's 2nd and 11. You're on the fringe here of field goal. If they're going here, all right, then they're going there, and then that means that either this back has it or this guy has it. There is no way that the center is going this way and Sean Ryan can come off and leave this guy. There's just that protection doesn't exist. So, and another, like, a very pertinent question, to be fair to Sean Ryan, is where are you going in this situation? Like, why are you all the way over there? You're hip to hip with your right guard on a looping guy. It doesn't really make sense, right? But so now it's 3rd and 11 because of that. All right, so this is that 3rd and 11 play. And I just want I'm going to highlight 11 here because, this is what you were dealing with. You're dealing with a young football team that's got dudes like this playing at this speed in real time. If you're not playing that hard, now compare and contrast that with our 2 outside blockers here. I know it's different, right? But the level of physicality and the level of, I mean, he was just playing, man. He's just going for it. We got a 1st and 10 look under center, my favorite. And look, you're down here on the, what is this, the 11-yard line? And you're just going to run to the bubble with your best player. You know, you got a great double here. You got a 6-man box. You got literally everything you want. This is as good a look as you're ever going to get in the National Football League. Just is. And I'll be honest with you. Right here, I'm shocked. I'm not running back. But I'm shocked we're not pressing and going right here. I'm shocked you're just not going to get north and south. I mean, you see the direction. You see everything. You know, these are the plays that I think 52 does a really good job being violent on that separation from Zach Tom. You know, I think he's really good and violent there. I think it's a fantastic job by him. Maybe we don't get more than a couple of yards, but, you know, 2 yards there just doesn't seem like enough given the fact the way it was blocked, particularly with that double team by the right guard in the center.
Hey friends, Andy Herman here. Time to get our sleeper picks in for this upcoming Sunday, and I'm going with the international game, which is always fun, but it's always a little bit more exciting when you add some sleeper picks on top of it. Tried a little different philosophy this week. I'm excited about it. We're going Michael Penix, longest completion, greater than 33.5 yards. Darnell Mooney, longest reception, greater than 17.5 yards. And Tyler Warren, longest reception, fewer than 19.5 yards. I'm excited about this one. Get your picks in over at Sleeper. And the best part is that you can get a 100% match up to $100 by utilizing code PACKADAY. Again, a 100% match up to $100 by utilizing that code PACKADAY. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper for details. Available in over 25 states nationwide. So what are you waiting for? Get your Sleeper picks in today. Hey friends, Andy Herman here. Before we get back to Mike Wahle, who is absolutely amazing, by the way, just shout out to Mike for all these incredible film breakdowns coming on with the live Q&A on Mondays. And then of course, with our regular podcast as well. If you haven't checked those out yet, make sure to do so. But before we get back to Mike, just want to shout out our two sponsors for today's show. First of all, Luigi's Frozen Pizzas. If you haven't checked these out yet, what are you waiting for? A little bit of buzz, by the way, that there's going to be some news around Luigi's Pizza. So keep an eye out for that. The best way to do so is to follow them on social media at Luigi's Pizza, and make sure you're checking out luigispizza.com as well. You can see their whole line of pizzas, also the store locator, so you can find the Luigi's Pizza nearest to you. Find them in your local grocer in the freezer section. They're absolutely delicious. You're going to want to get a bunch and celebrate our Victory Mondays right alongside of me by enjoying a delicious Luigi's frozen pizza. Also, Alchemy Wealth Management, retirewithryan.net. This is a unbelievable offer. You get to go to their website, retirewithryan.net, and for free, do one of two things. Either download all the great materials they have for you to just on your own help you with your financial future, or what I highly recommend, set up that free consultation with Ryan. He's going to help you on your retirement journey, on your financial journey, wherever you are at with your walk, whether that be near retirement, retired already, or just starting to think about it. Wherever you are at, he's going to be able to help you. Check it out over at retirewithryan.net. Ryan Nelson, Alchemy Wealth Management. Cannot recommend it enough. And a huge thank you to Ryan for partnering with us and also providing that free service to all of our viewers. Now it is time to get back to the one and only Mike Wahle.
So we go under center again. And listen, this happens twice in the game. You got to be able to tell that this guy, one of these guys has walked up, and you have to be alert. So we did this twice when we were under center on second down and long, right? These guys just brought the dog, knowing that, why are they doing that? Well, again, you can tell. I mean, this is stuff that you study in practice. This guy is a yard further up than, this guy is a yard further up than this guy. Well, that's interesting. They're doing this. I'm guessing they saw something on tape that said, we do not make a hard call, or we do not squeeze this with the guard. We will come pick this up with the running back. So if we hit this, when I'm talking about under center, if this guy walked up here, I bet we make a hard call and we do something like that, right? Or we get out from under center. But under center, if we time this, I bet you they're feeling like we can just get right in his grill. They time it. And he's got no chance. So we go to 3rd and 8. I mean, this is how the plays break down. It's, it's not, you got to be able to see that 32 is making a run for it. And again, you never know who's making the calls with the center. And obviously they're going to, Eldon's going to 56 here. And the back has him, but I don't know, man. It's just, it looks tough. It looks like they're not, because they are bringing the safety off the edge here as well. It looks like at some point you would say, we should redirect this. I don't know if that's a quarterback. I don't know if that's a center. It's not. I'm not in the room. All right, so we got another 1st and 10 play here. We got under center. Go for it. Triple coverage. It's what everybody wants. Throw pick. You live with some of these plays and you take these chances because you get frustrated. I'm sure as a quarterback, I'm sure he's just frustrated. Like he wants to, they're playing super deep and it's like Christian Watson's fast, so let's just give it a roll. But, he's got time. Those plays are, we talk about this every week. If that hits, then everyone thinks he's a genius. If it doesn't, then it's like, oh, it's too bad. And we saw the good last week, and then now you see, the other side of it. It doesn't change who he is as a player, right? It just, sometimes perceptions change kind of without warrant. Got a 1st and 10 play here. Got our 2 tight ends in the game. And I wish I had a little bit better vision of this, but this is what you miss when you miss. I'm just going to show over here, where Luke Musgrave is off the table here, but they're going to double this guy up to this guy off the screen, excuse me. And this is where you're missing Tucker Kraft the most. You can just see it here. You turn your shoulders the wrong direction, so now you're out leveraged. You got hands outside here, so you're going to get a holding call. And you can't really get on your drive, and you get a tackle for loss, plus all the rest of it. No bueno. So we get into 3rd and 9. This is a brilliant play by Jordan Love. Just understanding they're going to have extra men on the field. Everybody sprays out, open. Won't harp on it here. Just a fantastic, smart heads-up play by the quarterback. Got a 1st and 10 now. We go back. We're under center. We got tight ends can go either direction, but really if you start looking, you see it there, right? This is the kind of stuff where you got to roll your eyes. And this is everybody in the league like, okay, so why am I saying that? This guy can't go back. This guy can, right? Right now. Then he hits his head, and then he starts tapping his head. And now you see they switch. And it's like, really? You think nobody's going to notice that? So they come in and they run this play, and like they've got it set a specific way, but you've already told the defense what you're doing right here, and then the motion. And every single one of these guys loses at the point of attack. Over the top, over the top, over the top. Get wide on this guy in the pull. Look how this plays out. Every single one of them at the end of the play. Sorry, I was wrong on here. Over the top, bad, over the top. And you got, you should have a hole here. This is a good football play. You win at the point of attack with Zach Tom and the tight end. Downhill, better turn by Sean Ryan. You got a hole there. It just doesn't, it's the execution. 2nd and 6. Split backs again. Now, this is a fantastic call. Read. Okay. Now, this is RPO football. All right. This guy is running a wheel. You can throw the ball. You got man here. Staring at the quarterback. Just toss it. Now, got a downfield player. right? Might get called. Understood. But otherwise, why are you running the ball? Like if you're not running that wheel route to throw it, then I just don't understand. And this is that worst play in football that we show once a week. So we go fourth quarter. This is a 1st and 10 look. Got a one-on-one up top. You decide to run the football. Again, compress space. Could you throw the glance up top? Absolutely. This is always the interesting thing for me. I like to play the numbers games because this is a split flow look. It's not right or wrong. These two are going all the way back here. You've decided that you're going to go man, man, man. This player is never going to be blocked because this guy's going back to cut the end off. So regardless of how you play this, you have a free runner. And it's just the nature of the game. Someone's got to be free, but you could also read it off the backside and, blah, 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 blah. They get down, get 4. But you see this at the point of the attack, and this is what, when you start talking about what is wrong with the run game, like that's what's wrong with the run game. Right here, we're running horizontal. Like we're running the play horizontal. We can go anywhere we want. But this guy has put his backside in the hole, and this guy's trying to run his player there. They're going to run into each other. It doesn't work, and you just don't know. If you're in the line room, you just don't know what they're trying to accomplish. Again, not being there, not knowing what they're being told. So 3rd and 3. So now they got a fast 4 look out here, and people are pissed about this play, and do they want this one back? I mean, here's what I always see on these things is like, this guy's not in position to make a play. Okay, have that. But this is the stuff that's just, this is mesmerizing to me, honestly. Like, did you not know who you were going to block? The physicality, and this is what we loved about Carrington Valentine. Remember the first game of the year, man? He just showed up against the Detroit Lions on the line of scrimmage. This guy just showed up against our receiving core. And these plays, like this play works. This play should work. And I'm not talking about for a touchdown, but to get down to the 5-yard line as a compliment to you get your running back in space, and he should at least have 2 yards of speed before he gets, has to be looked at by a defender, and your guy just gets knocked into him. Like, it's just bad football, man. So now we go 4th and 8. Everyone's talked about this play. And look, here's the reality. Here's the reality about this play. You get beat here real early. You get beat here early, the whole thing's out the window. Turns into a scramble drill. Now, whether or not you like how they're running this, you get beat early, like game's over. Now, I'll say this. It's a hard throw if you're reading the corner to see whether or not you can throw the corner here or just get the first down, right? And you can bring him all the way back. Like, Jordan Love can make that throw if this dude's not right in his grill. Maybe he gets here and works up. One of the genius, beat writers, like, put this play up and, what are we doing? This and that and the other. It's like, you have these plays work. He's just got dudes in his face at the snap. And this guy's lucky. He drops it. Maybe he gets tackled in the end zone. Maybe he takes it to the house. Who knows? But look, you get beat. Derek Brown's a good player. But you get beat right off the jump here and you're done. That's what happens. Now, does he need to go for it 4th and 8? Should he kick a field goal? Well, it's windy. Haven't had great success with the field goal, kicking right now, all of that stuff. All right, so we're just going to do a little bit of that. We're going to run that deep out with a sail here by Musgrave. It's a great throw by Love. Man, it's a good throw. So this is a real popular. So the two things that we started doing a lot of that, Tucker Kraft's really good at here. Run like the sail with the go. I might have a check down here. And then we run the Yankee concept. I think it was on here twice. But, this is a route. Musgrave came in here as a receiving tight end. This is a route he can run. Something we're going to have to utilize certainly with Tucker Kraft out now for the now and future. Under center. Handoff. And this is, look, this happens to players. I get it. But we got to win. We just got to win at the line of scrimmage. And, this is crunch time. And that's not good enough. I don't even know. It's tough to even tell. You can see Zach Tom, knows what he's doing. But this footwork, hands outside, you just got a lot of work to do. We're running horizontal here. And it's just tough, man. He's just tossed. That's a bad look. And I think, they're cracking in on this guy in the box. And then they're sending Sean Ryan to him as well. And, on the backside, you got Rasheed Walker doing a good job against the backside tackle. But then 86 is, instead of staying on him, he tries to kind of hand off and run through him. It's just, it's tough. But it's, to be, you just can't run. You can't run play side if this is what you're getting. It makes it impossible. So we go back 2nd and 8 now. Under center. Again, you love the look because they can run play action. They do the same thing they did earlier in the game. Under center. They key it up. They show it. They're showing it like it's there. They're running a little quick screen so they think it's going to be all right. Guy gets in his face, can't get rid of the ball fast enough. And you usually have rules here, and this isn't really anybody's fault. This is just a good job by Carolina of identifying a problem. It's frustrating, I think, here, just simply because you see that they're on different levels. So we're probably, if our eyes are on that player here or here, you're going okay, there's something going on there. But if he's going to hit it, back's never going to get there. I know they're going to run a little quick screen. But even on a quick screen, you got to be able to get a hold of that guy. So this is where we're going to miss Tucker Kraft the most. This is a key play in the latter stages of the game. We're going to bang out here with Luke Musgrave. And how many plays has he caught the check down, yards after contact, but gets the first down, gets more. So he bangs out, gets open. They bring the safety down to cover. And right here, if I snapshot this, he's here. Now we're going to switch hands, put it on our left hand. He's going to be able to use his right hand to beat this guy off. Wow. Pause. He's going to use his right hand to prevent this person from tackling him. If that's Tucker Kraft, I'm betting he gets the first down, right? You just don't feel that way about the non-Tucker Kraft guys in the room. And I think that's where we're at right now, and that's the hard part. 5-man box. Safety's got to come down late. This play's got to go. What do I mean by that? They're showing him low, him high. But reality is he's going here. He's filling into this spot. We've got a double, really to no one at this point, block out. Double here. 32's in a stacked minus stacked position. We got time. This play's got to go. Play's got to go. And they decide to man it backside because he steps two. And we get, you don't get movement here. You get a double but no movement. This guy plays in, so they decided to man this backside, so he just plays over the top. We never get anybody on the safety. And so, I mean, this is a touchdown. All right, look, there's a lot of questions. I think the biggest one has to be, how are we going to fix the run game? Who are the right 5 or maybe 6? I think 6 players to play on the offensive line. I think we should have particularly with Tucker Kraft out. I think a jumbo package makes a ton of sense. We're going into Philly, playing the Eagles. Makes sense to me. Let's check. We've got large humans on the bench right now. Make them get a U Bacon package. Get that U71, that Kevin Berry package. Get it in that game, in the game plan. It's worked against us. We have the personnel for it. We have a running back that would be good at it. It opens up the passing game. It clarifies the safety situation, middle field closed, middle field open for our quarterback, clarifies the route combinations for the wide receivers. Like, it at least as something to go into the game with. It makes sense, particularly losing Tucker Kraft, who was your yards after catch guy, who was your check down guy, who is a competent blocker. You don't have that at the tight end position now. How are you going to replace it? It's, in my opinion, one of the more important positions on a football team that is trying to be a run-first football team, which, guys, if you like it or not, you have Josh Jacobs. He's an all-pro running back. You are a running football team. Because if you don't want to be a running football team, get rid of an all-pro running back. Go put him somewhere else where he'll be appreciated. Otherwise, you're a run-first football team to set up your pass. That's the name of the game. We have to get better up front. We have to get better at our fits. We have to get better at our footwork and our aggressiveness. We got to finish our blocks. But now with Tucker Kraft out, you really have to figure out, how am I going to prioritize that position? What are they going to be good at? Is it going to be an offensive lineman as a 6 offensive lineman as a tight end? Is it going to be a Luke Musgrave in strictly a receiving role? How are we going to – is it a trade? How are we going to address that? Because he has been such a monumentally important part of this offense. Going to be interesting. Really, really tough loss, man. Your heart goes out to him. He was playing like an all-pro. He was like our George Kittle, which I don't use that irresponsibly. Like, he was having that kind of year. I think he's going to be that kind of player. Thank God in ACL, as bad as it is, it's not permanent. He can get healthy, so we're going to see him again. He's going to continue to have a fantastic year or career for the Green Bay Packers. Look, thanks, guys, for watching this. We'll be here with a preview show here before the Monday night game. Going to be exciting. I think that's a big football game to take as a litmus test for this team. I think they're going to come back and step up. But a lot of questions. Check us out on the Pack a Day podcast with Andy. It'll be on that platform. Check us out on the Process of Perform channel. Guys, always enjoy these. Appreciate it. Keep with the comments. Keep with the likes. Keep with the questions, and we'll talk soon.